Welcome, everyone. Today we have the beautiful Evangeline Hamrick, and I'm so honored and blessed to have her here today. If you could explain to the audience, like who you are, like how did your spiritual journey start to where you are today?
Oh, I'm so happy to be here with all of you. And my spiritual journey started early. I had a Native American spirit guide when I was little, and I could see auras around people when I was as far back as I can remember. And then that kind of stopped and sealed off at age 9. I don't remember seeing him. His name is Sajunket. He's very, very much a part of my life, but I don't remember Sajunket being around or seeing color and shape and patterns of movement of color around people from 9 to 21. And then I found myself in massage school at age 21, and Sajunket was back, my guide. He was back, and all of a sudden, as I'm just like really relaxed working with people on the massage table, oh, it started again. And I could see color around animals, plants, humans. So that was my life. And let's see, that really came in full force at 21 years old. And at 27, I had a near-death experience, which just blew my intuitive abilities wide open and helped me remember who I am. And so ever since then, I've been helping other people remember who they are as well.
Yay! Beautiful. Um, I never I guess I don't see it, but I never thought about seeing auras around like plants, which would make sense because we're all energy. And like that's so what colors do they have? Are they different than humans?
They're different, and they pulsate different colors. Different trees will have different colors and pulsations around them. And I love that. I love it when I can almost like watch them breathe in color form. And so it was nice when it came back. It always made me wonder like what was going on between age 9 and 21 for that sort of sealing off effect. I don't know, but I was just really happy when it started to come back in little glimmers. And then when I left my body and I saw the other side and I saw the vast potential and the totality of experiences that this can be, then it was accessible to me whenever I wanted. Not just like in massage school, it was kind of like, ooh, there it is. This is cool. And that would shift me into another part of my brain that would like shut it down. But from that point, yeah, it's been pretty much the way that I live my life. So yeah.
Mm, I love your energy. It's so bubbly and just like joyous. It's I love it. So what does the word shamanism mean to you?
Ooh, I love this topic. I love it so much. So I really enjoy etymology and origins of words. And it makes so much sense to me if we go back into Siberian root words of shaman, to be the one who knows, the one who knows. That resonates so deeply with me because since we're not in the tribal structure anymore, we can all be that one, that healer for
Mm,
ourselves in the way that we live now. And I fully embody and embrace cross-cultural shamanism because there's absolutely nothing that's cultural appropriation about being the one who knows you, the one who knows how to heal this person right here, because we don't have that tribal person set apart anymore to maintain the well-being spiritually, physically, financially, emotionally. We don't have a person set aside in our tribe to do that while we go hunt and fish or build or do all the tasks we have to do. Now we are assigned the responsibility to be the best shaman for ourselves that we can be. And that's so empowering to me versus tribal old lineages where everything is secret and you can only know certain things if you're born into it or if someone deems you acceptable to be initiated into it. I just feel like in the new world that we're now in, it's yours. It's the information is here for anyone who wants to be the one who knows about themselves and their own life.
I love that because you've traveled the world and you've seen a lot of different shamanism, like shamanistic cultures, I guess, right? Correct. Like how many cultures would have you seen, I guess?
I'll be in my 30th country next month. Um, a lot. I've seen a lot. And for a while, I was insatiable to learn and to experience the old ways and to remember. And I went through a lot of training programs and a lot of lineages. And the empowerment that came for me through that is, yes, it's all there for us to learn from and to remember. And we have it. We already also have it inside of us. If you don't have someone to initiate you into a particular lineage, you have right relationship with nature and with source. So it's still available to anyone who wants to be empowered to heal.
I love that. Thank you. I'm just gonna let that sink in. I really love that because I that's how I connect, and I don't know if I come from a lineage, but I know inside of myself my gifts come through. So I just really love you expressing your perspective because I connect with it. So thank you for that. Can you share? Let's see. Can you share one of your transformative moments? And so you had a near-death experience. So how does that changed or shifted with what you do now, I guess?
Yeah, I was already a massage therapist when it happened, but it definitely took me out of fear and worrying about silly stuff, as far as like what people thought or anything. When you commented on, I'm joyful and I'm bubbly, I would say that definitely came on after that experience where I was like, oh, I'm here and this is amazing and I'm going to enjoy every second of it because I've seen what's to come, and that's really beautiful too. And now I'm not afraid of pretty much anything. So that's what it did for me. It unlocked my joy and bravery. And then I had the courage, like when I work with people, maybe they're afraid to be seen as healers. Maybe they have old persecution wounds around being out with their healing abilities, which I think that's going away in the way that the world is changing. It's not so much like that anymore. But it definitely helped me with not being afraid to be seen, not being afraid to teach.
Mm.
And I do have a story that I'd like to share with you about initiation and how if we just pay attention, nature and all of our relations will confirm to us. Like, when we're on our path of learning and service, it will come, signs will come in so many different ways. So I do have Cherokee ancestry. So after my near-death experience, I had read a lot of books, and I really liked this one particular medicine man. And I went to Cherokee to study with him, and I showed up just like heart open wide, like, here I am, everybody. And it was sort of naive because there were a lot of rules and there was a lot of exclusivity. And I had left all that behind in the religion that I was raised in. I had left all that behind after my near-death experience. So I got there and I was like, oh, this is not what I'm looking for. I thought we were all gonna, love each other and be really open and everything. And one of the things that happens in the Cherokee culture, if you do get chosen to move forward in initiation as a medicine person, you're gifted an eagle feather. And that's a really big deal when that happens. And so I left those trainings kind of like, uh, that's not really, I don't think that's where it's at for me. I did learn a lot there, and I appreciate a lot about the knowledge that I received there. But I was like, I just don't think that I need to work that hard to get bestowed upon me, the eagle feather and all that. And so then in a really odd way, one of my massage clients calls me out of the blue a few months later and says, I have an object for you, and I really want to get it out of my possession. And I was like, what is it? Like, it felt like we were doing a drug deal or something. I was like, what's going on? Why the secrecy? And he was like, you're gonna have to meet me. I was like, okay. And friends of his had been hiking out at Lake Tahoe, had found an eagle feather, brought it all the way home to North Carolina, gave it to this man. He was extremely uncomfortable to have it because of the legalities around having such a thing. And something made him think of me. And he said, she's the one. She'll know what to do with it. And to me, this was such confirmation of the invisible world, spirit guides and allies going, you got this. Here you go. You want your initiation?
I love that. That's a beautiful story. Wow. 'Cause when you're connected, things just flow and things happen to you. And it's so beautiful how when you're looking one way, you're expecting a one way and it doesn't turn out, and then you open yourself up to possibilities, and it's so beautiful the way the universe like gifts you. It's so much more funner. Like
Yes.
it's more exciting instead of like traditionally. It's so fun. Yeah.
Yes. And if we are paying attention, nature is giving us those signs. And back to what you asked me about shamanism. Okay, so that's the etymology of the word. But to me, in my heart, it's about relationships. Everything about being on the shamanic path is being in relationship with, like, mitakuyasin, like that saying of all my relations, I honor the fact that the stones and the crystals and the birds and the four-legged creatures and the humans and the ancestors and the star people, these are my relations, and the plants. To think of that as like one big universal family, it changes the way we live, it changes the way we interact, and it changes the way that we learn too.
Yes. I love you so much.
Love you too.
Oh, so I know we talked about the medicine wheel before we started this interview. So how do you work with the medicine wheel? Like, what does that mean to you?
I'm glad you asked. I love it. It's a big, huge part of my own spiritual practice and my teachings when I teach shamanic healing. It's a metaphor for us, for all the different aspects of ourselves, and integrating the inner child, the old wise elder that knows things and lives inside of us, and the adult, the responsible one that has things they have to do, and all that. It's how we can interact with all the pieces of ourselves and claim and gather up all of our energy that gets so scattered out. That's how I use it, in ceremonial work and meditation. And then something that I've just totally fallen in love with doing is creating medicine wheels, not just as beautiful art out of flowers and shells and gemstones, but as a prayer portal. And this has really taken off in my community, where all these beautiful people like to do it together for a day such as today, such as the equinox, or every time I'm going to begin working with a new group of students, I'll make a prayer wheel for them, and I'll allow all the natural objects that come together to just present themselves. Sometimes it is bones, sometimes it's shells. Many times they look like flower mandalas, but they're holding the energy of my prayers. And I feel like if we look at the history of the medicine wheel through time, they were astronomy labs, they were prayer portals, and they were created in places that are chakras, energy vortexes on the center of the earth. So you think of that physical act of putting our prayers somewhere, like having a container for that, is very powerful.
Can you? I'm ready for it. I was gonna save it to the end, but I'm ready.
Oh, okay.
Show it.
Okay. All right. So this is a beautiful way of gathering up our pieces. So yeah, let's do some medicine wheel healing work. So just get your body really comfortable. And if you need to move any body parts or settle in, and just take some really, really luxurious breaths. Just feel your feet connected to the earth. Feel your pelvis, your belly. Breathe into your low belly and breathe into your heart. And feel the energy at the top of your head, like a beautiful waterfall of light just spilling in to the top of your head. Breathing that light down into your heart. Feeling all the love and appreciation that you have for everything and everyone that you love in your life. And from that space in our hearts, that energy field that extends out and is so vast and so creative, I want you to go deep into that place in the center of your chest and just imagine that it's opening to a gorgeous field of flowers. And they're flowers of all colors, and it's so pleasing to look at these beautiful flowers. And the breeze is just slightly blowing across the blooms, and the sun is shining on your skin. And it feels so good in this field. And you look ahead, and off in the distance is this beautiful structure of stones. Might look like a Stonehenge, but it's your own medicine wheel with beautifully erected stones. And it's easy for you to get to. It's easy for you to dance to this medicine wheel, or fly to this medicine wheel, or walk softly and easily. And you notice that there's a gate in the eastern portion of this stone formation. And you walk in through the east gate. And as you breathe, you just take a moment to look around at these beautiful stones that are placed in each of the 4 directions. And you realize that this perfect balance of this medicine wheel is a representation of you, of your life, of the totality of your experiences, past, present, and future, of all of the versions of yourself on the timeline. And it is beautiful to behold. You might even hear drumming or music. You might even want to dance through this medicine wheel. But you're drawn to the south and to the stone that is erected to represent you, the direction of the south, your inner child. So we move into the direction of the south, and we honor the child that lives inside of each of us, that place of playful wonder, innocence, creativity. And we also honor our physical body in the south. So we burrow down as we honor the mouse totem, and we'll honor one of many animals that represent each direction. But as we breathe into the south, as we sit in this direction and we call in the energies, the loving energies of the south, think about your own body and what needs physical healing, and ask for that blessing to come to you from the south as we honor our playful little inner child and we let her sing and play and dance and fully enjoy her creativity, her sense of wonder. And we focus here in the South on physical healing for our bodies and what our bodies need today. And there might be a plant spirit that shows up here, a gemstone ally, a particular animal that can come in and help, or a well ancestor, a spirit guide. And we imagine that anything is being repaired, restored, revitalized in our physical vessel, our beautiful physical vessel, as we ground into the energy of the South. And we say thank you. And we move along however we want to, whatever feels right. Dancing or floating or walking our way to the west. And as we connect with the loving energies of the west, calling in our adolescent self, seeing the teenage version of ourselves and loving her so much, loving her for her intuition, calling in the spirit of Great Bear, the one who hibernates, the medicine of being still, going within, the medicine of the dream time. And we think about our own teenage years and what reclamation might need to happen. What do we need to gather up from our teenage years and retrieve in a soul retrieval way? And we gather those parts of ourselves back and we love her. We love that teenager so much in the West. And we honor the Great Bear. And we honor any spirit allies, plant allies, animal totems, ancestors who want to come in and help us with our own intuitive abilities, asking for our dream time messages to be strengthened, asking for all the little mini shamanic deaths that we go through to bring us the medicine, bring us the knowing, and that still hibernation of the West. And we thank you. And we move into the north. And as we are traveling up to the northern part of our wheel, we're just in awe at how unique this medicine wheel is. It reflects us, and there's no one like us. There's no one who needs exactly what we need for healing. And there's no one that has our own unique medicine, which we honor today. And we especially honor that adult, strong, powerful medicine woman who lives in the north, in the spirit lodge of the north. We call on her, the medicine woman that we have become. And we stand in that power and we love her and we appreciate all the skills that we've acquired and all the effort and hard work that it's taken to get to where we are, to really appreciate her and to give thanks for our mental powers and our mental body and the powers of learning and knowledge and wisdom And we ask for anywhere that we have been traumatized, anything that has been damaging to us mentally, to be restored and healed in this moment and called back to us. Any places on the timeline that were mentally painful, we are now completely restored and healed in the mental aspect of our adult self in the north. And we see the great snowy owl coming to bless us as we call in the loving energies of the north. Oh, and we give thanks if there's any other plant totems, crystals, gemstones, animals that want to come and tend to our mental health and to our adult self. We are totally open to that in the direction of the north. And we say thank you. And we move toward the east once again, right where we began as our newborn self in the beginning of this lifetime. We meet up with our old wise one in the east as well. The grandmother, the clan mother. She lives there flying high like an eagle. She and the newborn are so connected in the east. And I would love for you, as you stand in the direction of the east, to just really invite in that eagle energy for that zoomed out soul perspective on your life. Looking over the vista of your entire life experience with so much gratitude, so much appreciation. And your future self steps forward in the direction of the east. And she has a gift for you. She has a transmission to give you, a message from the future. And you see your future self and you smile at her. You're so grateful for everything that she knows, everything that she's imparting back to you down the timeline. And you may also have a gift for her. It may be a gift of flowers. It may be a symbol. Whatever comes to your imagination is right. And you spend time with her and with eagle medicine and with all of the loving energies and allies of the East that come in to heal you spiritually. Anywhere on the timeline that you have been hurt, that you have been wounded spiritually, we call all that energy back to you now. And these allies tend to your wholeness. And then you step into the center of your wheel as you thank all the energy of the East. You walk into the center of the wheel and you look all the way around at all those who love you. And you're calling in the highest version of yourself. You're calling in the highest expression of your soul from every timeline to be with you now. And as you look around, your newborn self thanks you. Your little 5-year-old girl thanks you. Your 15-year-old girl. Oh, does she thank you? Your adult, strong medicine woman thanks you. And the grandmother that you will be is so proud of you. They're all looking at you. They're all loving you. So just receive that love now. And you feel this in your heart, and you know that you can come back here anytime you want. This is the sacred place inside your heart. This is your own inner medicine wheel, and it's always available, and they will always be here for you. And so as you bow in respect, give gifts, exchange gifts, whatever feels right to your imagination, slowly and respectfully, you'll leave out of that east gate, dance back through your field of flowers, coming fully back into this moment in this room, feeling your body, stretching it out. And I always love to just give myself a little hug after that to just fully integrate all those subpersonalities, all of the aspects of ourselves, from the little ones to the big, powerful ones. Just loving on ourselves for a minute, seeing if there's anywhere that needs a little squeeze or a little tap. Tapping's always good to integrate and just really wake up the central nervous system after that kind of work. Feeling refreshed and in our bodies to have a beautiful equinox. What a beautiful day today. Mm.
Ooh,
Mm.
thank you. I know for myself, my body's been releasing shame, so that's why I'm a little plugged up, or else my nose like starts to run. So now my other side was starting to run through, and it's releasing. So it's nice. It's nice to have that. Thank you so much. I like. Oh, I just had a bird fly over us. It was caught. I'm pretty sure it was a crow. Thank you for your medicine. So how do people work with you? Like how do you do like mentorship, individuals, groups? How do people work with you?
Both. I do one-on-one mentoring, and then I have group courses. I have like a level 1 shamanic practitioner training course that's for anybody really who wants to just deepen their relationship with crystals or animals, really delving into the animal realm and how God speaks to us through the animal kingdom. That level of my course is just for anybody, because they might just apply that shamanic way of living and way of working with each of the queendoms, of nature. So that's the first level of training, and they can go all the way to ordained minister if they want to become a shamanic priestess. I've been an ordained minister since 2008. So I love to do that kind of work and help people really feel confident and supported in how to hold space for other people, whether that's in the death process, if that's officiating weddings or baby blessings or house clearings or whatever. It's all holding space. And then something really interesting that happened in 2020 was I began building out the shamanic minister portion of the program. And so many people just wanted to do death doula work. It started out as a module inside my training program, and it became its own standalone thing because so many people are like, I want to help people die better. And I love doing that work. It's incredibly shamanic because it's about bringing the beauty and the sacredness, since this is the beauty path, and death can be an extremely beautiful connecting experience. And I love to teach people that.
I know when I first heard like death doula, I'm like, what does that even mean? Because I was so afraid, but it's such an honoring to help people transition and not just grieve. It's to understand ourselves, like there's so much more to it than just like, oh, we died, and like culturally you're like, oh, we should be all upset and more. It's like there's more to it than that. So that's beautiful. Like that's just my experience too. Like everyone else probably experiences it a little bit differently too, but that's powerful.
Yeah, I love teaching people how to die well. And usually the ones you end up working with in a training program like that is the person in the family, that person who's the go-to person that is the shaman of the family, the one who knows. Back to our word, shaman. I know people have a lot of different associations with that word, but there's usually one healer in every family, the one that everybody goes to, and they're going to be the one that really holds it down when things happen, when the real life hits the fan. And that for that person to have support, for that person to be held and nurtured too, that's really important to me to teach the healers and the leaders of every family.
Beautiful. So what lights you up the most when you work with your clients?
When they remember who they are and they no longer feel afraid, they feel empowered, and they know they're here to help and they know they're here to serve. Or when they just understand that the healing power is within them. It's not for them to have to go all the time to somebody else. I want to teach them it's in here. And I remember one of my clients, she said, I need you to help me. She went, I need you to fix my shoulder. And this was back when I was a massage therapist. And she stopped and she went, wait, no, I don't. I need you to show me how to fix my shoulder. And I was like, yes, that makes me happy.
Oh, beautiful. You're such a beautiful soul. I really appreciate you.
I really appreciate what you're doing, raising awareness about the things that are available and how exciting it is to wake up to how beautiful life really is in service to others. I love it. Have you been having so much fun doing these interviews? It has to
I love meeting my people.
be so fun.
I love that, and everyone's from like all over the world too. I love embracing it and just learning and not being just like for myself, it's not being in that same circle, that same pattern.
Yeah,
It's spiraling out, and I get to learn, and I get to grow, and I get to shift and change. So I love that part.
all the time, all the time.
Did you want to leave with any kind of, I guess, words of wisdom? Or is there anything that just, yeah, you're feeling called to share?
Yeah. And you asked me all the ways somebody can work with me. So yeah, there are little classes. That's the one an example of that is my gift. Also I have a book. I have a book that is just a love letter from my heart for people who want to do massage therapy and energy healing work. If they want to make a living as a healer doing those type services, it's a book after 24 years of me making a living as a healer, talking about every mistake I made and how I didn't have anybody to help me, and so I love doing mentorship with entrepreneurs too, like healers who want to be sustaining their lives doing this kind of work, because I am a rare creature that I have the heart of a healer but the mind of an entrepreneur, and I love helping healers be sustainable and affluent. That's a word that I really love, affluent. So there's that book also, which is easy enough to spend some time with me in that book as well.
Thank you so much.